Hey, you know what sucks in life? Cancer. You know what sucks even more? Movies about cancer, because you kind of see how much it sucks for everyone else around you. But I guess when you have like a giant tree monster who's telling you stories halfway through, it makes it a little bit more tolerable, especially if it's voiced by Liam Neeson.
How does the story begin?
With a boy, too old to be a kid.
You're coming to live with me. Don't touch anything.
A Monster Calls. So this is the latest movie by director and writer and visionary J.A.Bayona, who, if you don't know, is the same director who worked on things like The Orphanage and The Impossible. So already off the bat, you know that it's going to be visually good and depressing and sad and emotional. So make sure you bring your hankies, because you will cry. You will.
What did he do?
He called for a monster.
So let's talk about the good stuff of this film. Overall, a really well done movie. I mean, this hits the emotion right at the core, and it's definitely one of those heavy-handed movies that you watch and you can just feel yourself welling up the tears. And it was kind of funny when I was in the theater. I went and saw this with my brother and a friend of mine, and so throughout the whole movie I'm trying to hold it in like, nope, you're gonna cry, you're gonna cry. And then at the very end there's that one end scene and I just start going, I can't take it. So yeah, you do that. The visuals are really good in this. There's a wonderful blend of just good cinematography as well as just good animation and CGI. They do this really cool thing with watercolors at the very beginning of the movie with the opening credits that kind of translates into these stories that the monster starts telling the kid, and they're beautiful to watch. And that's another thing, is how story is utilized in this film. It covers something about stories that I don't think a lot of films do often. And that's almost kind of like showing the origin or the heritage and what do stories mean to us and how do they help us to reveal truths and lessons that we need to learn. And acting wise, you know, the whole cast does a really good job, but the kid in this, my goodness, he carried this whole film, and whew, he was good.
I wish I had 100 years. 100 years I could give to you.
So let's get into the stuff that kind of like drags this movie. And that's one thing that does hurt about this movie, is that it does drag. It drags in the parts where you're supposed to feel sad. It drags in it trying to, you know, instill the lessons of this film in you. And that's kind of like a problem kind of throughout, is that it drags out those moments at parts when it really should just move on to the next thing. But it's kind of hard when the whole movie dwells around this aspect of cancer. It is very heavy-handed. It's a very depressing kind of a subject. And it almost feels like it's too depressing for this to be a kid's film, but it feels like it's not marketed towards the adult audience just because, you know, the lead actor is a kid. It's almost kind of in a way like The Little Prince in a way. That's another example of a movie I like, but it's kind of heavy in both directions. But I think somewhere in there, there's a wonderful balance between them, and I feel like it has a market out there. This is definitely for that market that likes fairy tales and it likes stories that uplifts you at the very end. But overall, it's a really good film. So I really would have to say, if you like these kinds of stories, if you like stories that uplift you, that have those transcendent moments, then definitely this is a good film, and I highly recommend it because it'll make you really want to, you know, talk to your mom again. Which, by the way, you know, this movie's got me in a real good mood. I really feel like while the credits are rolling, I'm gonna call my mom, just let her know how much I love her, because I don't feel like I do that enough anyway. So one second. Hey mom, yeah, no, I just wanted to say, no, nothing's wrong. Yeah, I know it's 2 in the morning. Well, no, I'm just calling because, oh no, okay, look, no, it's okay, listen, I'll call you tomorrow, okay? I'll call you tomorrow. Don't get panicked. I'm sorry I woke you. Well, I'll let you know tomorrow, okay? Okay. All right, okay, I love you. Good night. Sorry about that. I promise it won't happen again.